And good morning. It's time now for the Community Profile program for this Monday, the 23rd of June, 2014. Milton Baker and Sandy Alexander, co-host and executive producer in the studio today. Hey, Sandy.
Hey, Milton.
Good Monday morning to you.
And same to you.
And if you would, please, I'll let you introduce our guest for today.
Okay, we've had this lady booked for a while with us, and we're glad to have her here today. Paula McSwain from the Crisis Pregnancy Center of Lincoln County.
Thank you.
It's good to have you, Paula.
Hey, Paula.
Well, we're happy to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity to come tell what we do.
Yes, the
Okay.
Crisis Pregnancy Center. Tell us, first of all, where you're located and then, what you do there.
Okay. We're at 621 Clarks Creek Road in Lincolnton, and we're there on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 9 to 5 to see clients, and I'm in the office on Wednesdays from 9 to 1, but we don't normally see clients on Wednesdays. We do pregnancy, everything we do is free. We do pregnancy testing. A girl comes in and she takes a test and she finds out she's not pregnant, then we do abstinence counseling. If we have a positive test, then we have support programs that we can do with her that takes her everywhere from maternity clothes to ongoing baby support up through size 2T. And we have some special programs that she can earn, the high dollar stuff, cribs and changing tables and the things that are going to really cost her. She can start that program as soon as she finds out she's pregnant, so that it's an earning program. It's still free. Everything we do is free, but those particular items are part of a program called the Hand Up program. It's a hand up, not a handout.
Yeah.
They have to earn those items, and we ask them to earn a point for every $10 of value, and we guide them through a DVD curriculum that covers child care and pregnancy, SIDS prevention, just all kinds of classes like that. And then they get to the last month of their pregnancy, they get a baby bundle. It's like a miniature baby shower, a little bit of everything to get them started. And then once the baby's born, they can come once a month and get services for that child, diapers, wipes, clothes, just about anything baby you can think of till they get up to size 2T.
Yeah, and is the work you do with these young ladies, is it confidential? Do their parents have to be notified if they're of a certain age, or exactly how's that work?
It is confidential. There is an age level. I don't know that we've ever had anybody come in that's too young. 16-year-old can come in and we don't have to call mom and dad.
Okay.
But if they got down into the really young ages, then depending on the situation, if there's cases of rape or there are some legal things that we have to report, but basically they can come in. Everything's confidential.
Okay.
And they just need to be, they don't have to be a Lincoln County resident. They just need to have picture ID. Because we do pregnancy testing, we fall under HIPAA laws, and so we have to have ID for that.
Yeah. Now these are mostly that come in. These are single ladies in most cases.
Most cases, not all cases.
Yeah.
They just need to have a need. We don't have any disqualifying factors there. If they have a need, then we're there to help them. They don't have to be single. They don't have to be still school age. They don't have to be. They don't age out of our program. They just have to have a need.
Now, what if they need a place to stay? Say
we refer to maternity homes and things like that, but we don't offer that ourselves.
Yeah.
We do refer for if they need Medicaid services, we refer for that. We refer for adoptions if they're interested in placing their child and don't feel like that they can provide for that child and keep that child. We do referrals for things like that, but we don't offer that on site.
Okay.
Now, how long has the Crisis Pregnancy Center been in Lincoln County active?
Well, we opened our doors January of 2001. 2 years prior to that, Tracy Williams is a lady in Lincolnton. She had just a burden that we needed something like that in Lincoln County, that they didn't have to go a county away to get that kind of help. And she began to do some research to find out what she needed to do to make that happen, and started meeting with Ansel Overby, Dr. Overby from the Gaston County Crisis Pregnancy Center, and they formed a committee and began to meet, I think, every month for about 2 years prior to opening the doors, and they had to just went through the whole. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and so all the steps that you have to do to get to there before you can actually open the doors. But we opened the doors January 2001 in a little one room on Oak Street, and then and a storage building, and then we got another room to add to that out of a house, the same house, and then we outgrew that and we moved to Main Street, and then we had prayed for a rent-free facility, and New Vision Ministries had a building they weren't using, and they offered it to us, and so we're blessed to be in a rent-free facility that we can save those funds to help maybe one day be able to purchase our own.
Yeah. Now, in some cases, the young ladies, they come directly to you. Otherwise, how do these girls find out about the Crisis Pregnancy Center?
Well, that's one reason we're glad we're here today, because mostly it's word of mouth. We have our sign out front. We're in you Google, or if you that's what our young people do. You know, our age, we look at the phone book. They look on the computer. You can find us those ways, but the best advertisement for us is word of mouth, and a lot of times a girl that has been through our program, or maybe even come in just one or two times, and then she has a friend that, I think I'm pregnant. Well, why don't you go down to, and that's usually our best advertisement, somebody maybe that has had our services before.
Yeah. Now, in most cases, the young ladies show up by themselves. Any cases where their partner, the father of the child, comes in as well?
We do. I was telling Sandy earlier about a couple that we have that came, I believe, maybe December, and he comes with her to all the child classes. Sometimes they bring a grandmother, sometimes they bring a friend, but the first time they come back, if she brought him with her, he sits out on the couch while we go talk to her, because we have to determine, was this rape or sexual abuse, and then if she decides to continue to come, then he can come back with her. We don't counsel males by ourselves. Ladies don't counsel males, but they can come with them. And we have a fair amount that do, maybe a fourth that brings somebody with them. That's usually the partner.
Do most of the women or couples that come in, do they plan to keep the baby? Are there adoption discussions that
most of the girls that I work with are not adoption minded. I wish we had more that were adoption minded, because I know that is such a loving option for children. I have 2 adopted nephews, but most of them, if they're not abortion minded, they are planning to parent, and sometimes that's a struggle for them to decide. There's just that mindset of, I couldn't carry a baby for 9 months and then give it away, and so most of them do choose to parent if they're going to keep the child. And we don't do, I mentioned abortion, we don't do abortions or refer for abortions. We are a pro-life organization, so we try to guide them. We are Christian, and we do try to guide them according to God's word, to that is a life, and every life is precious, and we operate on the premise in Proverbs that says to rescue those that are perishing, that can't speak up for themselves.
Well, now you said from the beginning of pregnancy up until the child is 2T.
When they finish in size 2T, which is, so it's not really an age, it's a size. So some children run smaller, they get to stay with us a little longer, but and some of them will try to squeeze them in there just as long as they can for that help. But that's space constraints, and to just capitalize on what our mission is, there's got to be a cutoff point somewhere. We come alongside them and help. What we give them is not enough for them to be able to raise their child on. They've got to show some responsibility. We're going to help you, but you're going to have to help yourself some too. And so we try to teach them how to do that. We have other classes that are available to them, types of bookkeeping kind of things that show them how to keep their checkbook and job skills, how they can, and very few of them take advantage of those, but we can help them. How can I find an apartment, and steps to go through? How do I find employment? How do I make out a resume? Those things are available to them. Not a whole lot of them follow through with that, but they are available.
Yeah, I imagine getting a job or a better job is a main goal for some of these people.
Yeah. A lot of them are looking for work, and a lot of people are looking for work, so that makes it hard if you've already got to figure in childcare, and you've got to work a few things around. So,
well, do you have figures on over the years how many babies, how many young ladies?
I should have brought all that with me. I didn't think about it before I left the office last week, and I didn't go by there this morning. But on the average, we service 50 plus girls a month.
Wow.
And that's a lot.
Are they all from Lincoln County, or is it can be
The majority.
Can be
they
from
can
anywhere?
be from anywhere, but
Yeah.
for the majority, we have a few from Gaston. We have a few from Catawba. I think I have one from Cleveland, but mostly it's Lincoln County girls, and that's that calculates out to be over 600 visits a year.
Yeah.
So it's pretty active. For some days you're like bouncing from one room to the other, and
Yeah.
then the other days it's like anywhere you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I told them when I came on, I'm trying to work myself out of a job because I'm very absence-minded. Every chance I get to mention that. We were talking earlier, if it wasn't doable, it wouldn't be in God's Word. It's not realistic to think that a girl can be absent, or a guy, young guy.
Do the ladies and guys, as you say, that go through the crisis pregnancy center after the baby comes and after the baby grows out of the size and limit and so forth, do they stay on and help volunteer in any way? Usually?
Generally, no.
No.
Some would like to. Sometimes, unfortunately, we have, by that time, there may be another child that they can only do the hand-up program one time.
Yeah.
We do have some exceptions to that right now, but they're supposed to only do that one time. But they can still get services for a second child, and so very few do stay on and volunteer. For one thing, being a Christian organization, to be a volunteer, you've got to pass through our criteria for that, and a lot of them are not ready to do that. Some of them, they have to not be eligible for our programs to be eligible to be a volunteer. So if they still have another child that might be in our service area, they're not, even if they're not seeking services for that child, they're not eligible to volunteer. And to be, of course, to be a counselor, they have to go through the training program for that. But most of our volunteers are from churches, and we have several that are on hold right now because I'm trying to get some background checks done and things like that. But I think Joy Scott was on your program a couple of weeks ago with the blind thing, and she's one of our volunteers. She's also on our board. And then we have Tracy Williams that had the whole vision to get it started. She's actually filling in for me this morning. She's one of our counselors that comes, and then we have several that are maybe just float in and out to do baby room and sort clothes and fold and that kind of thing that don't have client contact.
So you have some fundraisers planned, because all this is volunteer, and you really go on
Shoestring.
shoestring. Yeah. So
I'm the only paid employee at this time anyway. We're getting ready to change that. We are getting ready to do a medical conversion, and I'll come back to that. Right now, the only quote-unquote medical thing that we do, and because we're technically not medical, it's a self-pregnancy test right now, but we're trying to convert to a medical clinic so that'll be available for the Lincoln County area, where a young lady can come and get all the services that she would need medically, but eventually down the road. The first step is that we want to be able to provide ultrasound. We aren't able to do that right now, but we have started fundraising for that. We have about $13,000 or so, give or take, towards that, and those machines are not cheap. They're about $25,000 a piece, and so our first fundraiser that we have planned towards that, actually it's our second one. We had one in the spring, but a lot of the centers do a walk annually, and we have not done that to this point, but we plan to have our first one October the 11th, and we're calling our Laps for Life, and so that is October the 11th, and that's going to be held at the North Campus of Hulse Grove Baptist at Car Farm Road. And so if anybody's interested in participating with that, want to get a church group together or a civic group together, or just students, we'll be getting some more information out on that, but they can contact the office to get involved in that. We'd love to have the whole community come out and be a part of that, because statistically, when a girl sees the ultrasound, 89% of the time she changes her mind about abortion. Because you just can't look at those arms and legs and thumb-sucking and the little spine and not see that that is a life. And the choice was to have relations. The baby's a life. And so we believe in choice, but we believe that was at the time of the activity, and that baby is a life, and it deserves the opportunity to live. And so the other fundraisers that we do, we have something called our $5 Army. we have our budget right now is $60,000 a year, which is pretty minimal compared to what some of the other 501c3 organizations around us are. But we kind of just, at the beginning of the year, we're like, how are we going to meet that budget? Because we were really down last year on our incoming monies and didn't come near that. And so had to reach into some of our supply that we had saved back to meet budget last year. And it just seemed like that the Lord just kind of broke it down into smaller chunks that we could swallow. $5,000 a month is $60,000 a year. $5,000 a month is still a lot of money.
Yeah.
And but then when you stop and think about it, that's 1,000 unashamed pro-life Christian people in Lincoln County that are willing to give $5 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Well, $5 a month is a whole lot more doable than $60,000 a year. So we're looking for an army. We're calling it our $5 army, and we have several people already signed up, but we're still short of our 1,000 people. So if anybody that's listening would like to become part of our $5 army, the commitment's $5 a month. You can pay it in a lump sum, or you can pay it every month, however works for you. And then the other fundraiser that we do a lot is our baby bottle blessings. We supply the bottles and take them. The group, usually a group does it, a church does it. Sometimes Bible clubs, different groups take them, and just set a time frame. You fill them up with change, bring the bottles back, and it is amazing how much change comes in baby bottles. Living Word Church just did one, and of course they are a larger size church, but kudos to them. They came up with
your home for the best in Southern Gospel.
It's over $3,000.
WCSL 1590 AM, Cherryville.
What size is the baby bottle?
It's a regular baby bottle.
Baptist Church in Iron
Just
Station,
a regular baby
North
bottle,
Carolina.
and
Okay.
they had about 140 of them.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Okay. Well, that's sound like some very innovative and ways to to raise funds
And help everybody get
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
Feel like they're a part of what we do. One other thing that we have available right now is the movie Meant to Be. And I don't know if you've seen it. We talked about it. If you haven't seen it. But Dean Cain, Della Reese, some of the older actors that some people are, well, there's new ones that I didn't know. Those are the two I knew. Michael Gross is in it. I'm not a big movie watcher, but it's a full-length feature film. Excuse me. That it's just something you would go to a theater and watch. It's not, there's no explicit photos, it's not a documentary, it's just a movie, but it's a very pro-life twist on it, and we have the rights to show that till January of next year. So if anybody in the church group that would want to show a free movie night this summer or this fall or back to school, there's nothing offensive in it. It's just very, we were all meant to be, and God has plans for all of us, and so we would like to make that available to anybody that would like
And
to
that's for
host
just
at
the
their
residents
church.
of Lincoln County.
It is just Lincoln County because the rights are limited to Lincoln County.
Okay. All right. So, any other thing you'd like to point out about the Crisis Pregnancy Center before we wrap up here?
I think that we pretty much covered it. I do want to thank any of our donors that are listening. We do appreciate them. We're soliciting new donors, but we are thankful for the ones that we have that are faithful. If it wasn't for our faithful partners, we wouldn't still be there and be able to do what we do.
Always use donations of money or materials.
Yes. Anytime somebody asks me, we always need size 4 and 5, the bigger diapers. People think of Crisis Pregnancy Center, they think small babies. But we have a lot on that 2TN that haven't quite potty trained yet. That size, they stay in a 4 and a 5 for a long time.
Okay.
And so we can always use those, and washes and lotions, those expendable things get gone quick. So anything like that is always appreciated.
All right. And contact information, phone number, or I know you gave the hours. Maybe you give those again as well.
Yes, we're located at 621 Clarks Creek Road in Lincolnton. All of our mail goes to a post office box, 1414, because we don't have our own receptacle there. And then our phone number is 704-732-3384. And our hours again are Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 9 to 5. And I'm there, I still get calls from 9 to 1 on Wednesdays. And if you leave a message, we'll get back with you.
Okay.
Okay, well,
All
thank
right.
you, Paul.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we quite enjoyed and learning more about the Crisis Pregnancy Center there in Lincoln County. And like Sandy said, we've been looking forward to this program for a long time. We've gotten to know, you mentioned Joy Scott. We've gotten to know her and done some programs with her on the Federation for the Blind, and I think she got us in touch with you as well for this.
Great lady.
All right. Sandy, what about tomorrow?
Tomorrow we'll have Melody Horde. She'll be here talking about the well walk. That's coming up this coming Saturday. It's a fundraiser to dig a well and help people have clean water. So she'll be talking about that. That's going to take place at the YMCA on Saturday in Kings Mountain.
All right. So that's our next community profile. We thank you folks for tuning in today, and we'll see you tomorrow.